Guys, we're back on Monday. It's Monday evening. We're doing the evening fetch and bring the cows up right now in a rainstorm here. But so we got 2 inches of rain, 2/10 of rain this morning, and it's roaring pretty good right now. And so I've run the cows out of the barn and they've all ran up here, staying up here underneath the shelter right now. So anyway, it's a nice rain, but it makes it a little bit more challenging to bring the cows up. So yesterday morning I was loading feed and I looked and I was like, you know, that inside tire probably needs a little air, looking a little low. Probably need to put some air in it. Well, it's got 19 pounds of air. But now this outside dual is flat. So it has a tube in it. And yeah, obviously it's nowhere to be found. So I don't know. This is a tandem axle, so that just kicked off, but I may have to just jack this up and then chain the one side up to where it doesn't teeter, and that way I can get feed put out, because it's naturally Sunday morning. So anyway, that's the way it goes sometimes. And I don't have a spare for this thing. I need to get one because this is a problem. But so I'm gonna give this a try. I was able to pull that valve stem back in there, and we'll see if that tube will hold air. I kind of doubt this works, but otherwise I got this chain here, and I'm going to chain right inside there on that axle to kind of keep this tire up so that I don't ruin the rim, and we'll just run on that one tire until tomorrow morning. After chores, I can go run to the tire shop and get another one, and then I need to get a rim ordered. I asked the tire shop to get me a rim, and they looked into it, and then they were, I don't know, he never got back to me, because I think he had said he was having a hard time finding the right rim for it. I thought it was just going to be a regular implement rim, but I don't know. He asked me what it was on and all this stuff, and anyway, so I need to just call the dealer and maybe get a rim from them. This is kind of frustrating to have this happen on a Sunday morning and not have a great plan. So I couldn't get that chain tight enough around that axle to keep it from teetering too much, so but I was going to put something in the axle to kind of make it rigid, pinning it against the frame there. But found this old skid steer tire from 2 skid loaders ago that we owned, and I never got rid of the spare. And yeah, it fits really well on there. So it's actually a little too short, I guess, but it'll hopefully get us by for today, and then hopefully tomorrow I can find something different. So get that other tire fixed. But it's just one of them deals. It's with farming, you deal with breakdowns sometimes on a daily basis, sometimes multiple times on a day. But anyway, just kind of frustrating when it happens on a Sunday morning when you're wanting to go to church. But I guess that's why we get up a little extra early, to make sure that we have plenty of time to get this stuff going. So we're doing our midday fetch here in the robot barn, and I just brought up a couple of cows who came up this morning, and after I had done feeding, a bunch of cows came up on their own. I had some cows in the fetch pen over here, so the gate's shut. Those 2 cows, one that's in the robot and the one that's behind her, they both came up here and just wound up hanging out in here for a little while, and then they left. So it was like they didn't want to use a 2-way gate. They didn't know how to use a 2-way gate, or don't like it, and then turn around and left. So, and actually that second cow, I showed her how to use the 2-way gate, but I just don't think she likes doing it that way. I don't know, or she's too used to going into the fetch pen. So anyway, these other 2 cows that are staring at me, they have been pretty good visitors, but for whatever reason today, they're winding up on the fetch list. So that Jersey there, they're both Jerseys actually, but the first one here, she's a really good producer, and she's gone through days where she'll do 3 times a day on her own, and then other times where I'm having to fetch her. So today's that day, I guess. But anyway, so the dealer guys, they came out yesterday and helped us try to figure out our feed table a little better. I think we weren't putting out nearly enough feed for these cows, so that's been kind of our issue. So far we got about 15 to 18 cows who visit on their own. About 14 of them visit consistently, and then probably 3 or 4 or 5, something like that, that are cows that I don't have to fetch them this day, but then I may need to fetch them the next day. It's not consistent. So I think part of our problem was they weren't getting enough feed at the robot. We didn't really have that dialed in very well, so hopefully that's going to help us get some more visitors, and so I don't have to fetch near as many cows. So it's one of those deals when it starts snowballing on itself and you get more and more cows. Hey, I got more free time, just like this cow who's currently not wanting to use the two-way gate. She wants to use that. Well, she can't use it if the fetch pen isn't open and available. If I got fetch cows in there, she can't do that. So it's just one of them things. It feeds on itself, where if that's open, then she's going to visit, and then other cows are going to keep visiting more. So I think I may need to change it up, and after feeding, maybe not have any cows fetched at that time, maybe do all my fetching before I feed, and that way after feeding, when they're stimulated to get up, they're walking around, they eat some feed, they're like, hey, now I want to go get milked. It's totally wide open and they can use it. So I may just want to change my thought process that way. So anyway, we'll try it. So alrighty, so we're back here on Thursday, baling some hay today. We're out here probably, I don't know, 5 or 6 miles south of the dairy farm, out here baling some hay. And this is on a landlord of ours, so we have some row crop ground on, and then he also has some hay ground, and then his neighbor has some hay ground as well. And so we come out here and bale this stuff all at once. And so anyway, usually makes about 90 to 100 bales out here, so it's a decent day of baling. This field here in particular, this one is a field that most people would probably row crop, but these people don't want to do that with this field, so we just hay it every year. It's a low laying piece of ground where it floods out pretty good, so even if you row cropped it, the chances of pulling a crop off of it wouldn't be great. So usually we go ahead and just hay it in the summertime whenever it's seems fit to get out here, whenever it's a little drier. This year it's a little bit on the tacky side. We got 1.5 inches of rain last weekend, so anyway, it's still a little muddy out here, but it's not horrible. It's good enough to travel, but I have had to use my front wheel assist a couple of times today in some soggier areas, but anyway, nothing too bad. So here's a low laying spot. Kind of see I'm schmucking it up a little bit. So anyway, what do? We're not doing too much damage. We're not cutting big ruts or anything, but we are cleating in pretty good. And like I said, I got my front wheel assist kicked in because I don't really want to get stuck all the way out here. So kicked out the last bale, and makes 92 bales for the day. So that's the last of the first cutting of grass hay. So we won't be doing any more hay, or shouldn't be, at least as long as I don't get any calls from other neighbors. But anyway, should be done with hay until the fall anyway. Maybe in September we'll do a second cutting. So okay, so we're back here on Friday morning looking at the fetch list, and I got here and there's 13 cows on this fetch list, which is the best it's ever been.
So pretty excited about that. And some of these cows are just now hitting the fetch list. So we quit fetching, pushed the cows through last night around 6. And now, yeah, like I said, it's 4 a.m. now. And anyway, a lot of cows visited on their own last night. So pretty happy about that. So it's midday on Friday now. And I'm working at putting up some of these lights. So with our alley being so long, we have a dusted on light back there at the barn, and then we have a dusted on light up here at the robot barn. But the light gets kind of darker there in the middle of the alley. Well, in order to encourage some more overnight visits, I bought these little garden lights. So my plan is I'm gonna screw these into the top of the concrete wall, but they got the holes there already, but they're actually a little too small, so I'm gonna have to drill them out a little bit. And then we'll go in there, use a hammer drill, and put these masonry screws in, and then they'll be stuck there on the top of those little stub walls and hopefully illuminate a little more light for the cows. So she's already been refused twice. Third time's the charm. She's like, gosh darn it. She keeps going in there thinking she's gonna get a little more treat. Maybe she can steal a little treat out of the bowl before it kicks her out. I guess after 3 times, she's gonna call it quits. It's Friday evening now. We got those lights installed, and I'm in here in the robot barn. All the cows decided to come up and visit together. They are still doing that, and anyway, it drives me a little crazy, but I don't know, at least they're visiting. So our visits have improved a lot this week. I think the dealers coming and doing some work on the feed table and recalibrating the feed really helped. Seems like they're getting a lot more feed than what they were getting earlier, and even though it said earlier it was giving them the same amount of pounds that we are now, it seems like they're getting a lot more. So I think something was not right there. So anyway, that helps a lot. Whenever the tasty treat is supposed to be what helps get them here to the robot and it really wasn't working, yeah, things aren't gonna work all that great. So now the cows are visiting quite a bit better here the last several days, and a lot more curiosity from the cows who haven't figured it out yet. So that's helping out a lot. But anyway, I think we're gonna do our little 4th of July celebration. I hope all you guys had a wonderful and safe 4th of July and did all that fun stuff. So anyways, we'll see you guys later.